All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Saturday NBA action. We're going to jump into each game on the NBA slate. I'm going to give you my lean, give you what I'm thinking. But what do I tell you guys at the start of every single video? Make sure to keep an eye on the pinned comment. That is where all my final plays will be. Yesterday, we ended up going 2-2, including our ride of the day, which we'll talk about in just a second. But, man, I wish I played more of the leans from the video. Looking at the results of the game and looking back at, obviously, my notes and what we said in the video. Pretty good day yesterday, but then the final plays may not have said that. We go 2-2. We're 2-0 against the spread / totals, 0-2 when it came to player props. So let's get an applause for us being on a pretty good against the spread streak here. But let's also get a womp womp for an 0-2 player prop night. Yikes. But guys, speaking of the ride of the day, like I said 2 seconds ago, if you don't know what the ride of the day is, all you have to use is hashtag ride of the day in the comments and give me a lock. And I may be jumping on board with one person in the comments. And if I do, you guys will get a shout out in the next video, win or loss, much like Dreaded yesterday. Pumping some crowd noise. We're all over the soundboard in today's video. Dreaded Timberwolves, first quarter -2.5. Timberwolves won it by 3. Let's go. We take the win. We don't care about how much they won by, other than it being more than 2.5 points, which it was. 3 points. We had to sweat that one out. But shout out to Dreaded for the ride of the day. Guys, again, use hashtag ride of the day in the comments if you guys do want your chance to be, I was going to say ridden on, which would be a little weird. But if you guys do want me to jump on board with the pick that you guys have, make sure you use hashtag ride of the day in the comments. We got 7 games on this Saturday slate. We're going to jump into each and every one of them. Before we do that, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about Sportsline. I've talked to you about Sportsline in the recent videos here. Awesome tool when it comes to predicting sports games and using it for your betting research. Guys, they simulate each and every game 10,000 times. So you don't have to go to the board and say, what's going on here? How's this game going to go? What do we think? Obviously, nothing is 100%. You're going to want to use this as a tool, like I always tell you, but it's an amazing way to start your research off on the right foot. They simulate box scores. They simulate the projected score. They also go ahead and have Vegas experts on the site giving you their picks. These people that do it for a living are telling you what they think about the game. They track their units, hot streaks, cold streaks, all that stuff, guys. Sportsline has it all. It's not just for NBA. It's for NFL, MLB, NHL. Any sport you need, Sportsline's got you. So make sure to use the link in the description and use promo code GUYBOSTON at checkout. And you want to know why you should use that promo code? Because you can get a quarter of the year, 3 months, for $4.99. It's usually $25. $4.99 for 3 months of Sportsline. Definitely go check it out and add it into your repertoire in terms of your research process. But let's jump right into the first game here, guys. We got Miami taking on Sacramento here. Miami, 4-point favorites on the road here. Miami coming off a loss to Golden State. We're on the right side of that one. And Sacramento coming off to loss to Memphis, which we're also on the right side of that one. In terms of injuries, no major injury updates for Miami. Kevin Huerter was injured last game for Sacramento. He is probable to play. He hurt his wrist last game, and we saw him in very limited minutes, which kind of stunk because we needed him for his over in points. To get 7 first half points, we needed 11. Didn't play, so that was a bummer. But he is probable this game. I'm going to lean Miami here. I do understand that, they're coming off of a loss, but I think that they're a better team than Sacramento. I think they're very similar in terms of skill and in terms of where they rank in terms of power rankings and whatnot to Memphis. And Memphis beat this Sacramento team by 15 points on their home turf there. So I'm going to go with Miami here because I do think that they're the better team. I'm going to look at them -4. Keep an eye on the pinned comment to see if it becomes a final play. I'm also going to take a peek at the under 228. We're getting to the point where I feel like there's enough data to throw into the model to be able to spit out some good over-unders here, so make sure to keep an eye on that as we progress through this NBA season. You guys know I love totals. That is really where we've made our bread and butter over the years, so make sure to keep an eye out for any of those totals. I'm starting to get very, very confident in what we have there, but we're going to lean Miami here -4, and then I peek at the under in terms of lean. Next up, we got the Hornets, who are one of our more favorite teams. I keep saying more favorite. One of our more liked teams in the NBA this season. They're 3-2 against the spread, taking on the Golden State Warriors, who are 2-3 against the spread here. Warriors giving 10 points on the road to the Charlotte Hornets, and you know what we're doing. We're laying that. Or not laying it, sorry. We're taking that. We are taking Hornets here, plus 10. I think that they can keep this one to a 10-point game. They probably still lose by 8, 7, 6 points, something like that, but I do think that a double-digit spread here is a lot to give a Charlotte team that has proven that they can at least keep up with teams in this league here. Last 3 games, 2-1 against the spread. They had a really bad night against Orlando yesterday, so yeah, you know what, fine. There's one off game. Prior to that, they beat Atlanta outright when they were 10-point dogs. And then they go and keep it close with the Knicks. And I think they took that game to overtime, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. When they were 7.5-point dogs. So this Charlotte team knows how to grind. They know how to cover. Terry Rozier still questionable, which he has been questionable on the injury report every single game. LaMelo Ball obviously still out. But yeah, we're crazy. Psycho alert. Psycho alert. We're going with the Hornets here, plus 10. Next up, Nets taking on the Pacers, giving up 10 points. Pacers coming off of the win last night. I was right about that in the video. We did not make it a final play, which is a bummer because I did like the the Pacers plus 6 yesterday. We did not roll with it, but we have Markieff Morris here upgraded to probable. Seth Curry is now questionable, and then Joe Harris upgraded to probable against Indiana. So the Nets looks like they're gonna get some guys back. I think 10 points is a little bit too much to lay, but I cannot push my luck with the Pacers 2 nights in a row. So we're probably sticking away from this game. I do take a look at the under 237, and I'll tell you why. No real facts to back it up, just that is a massive number, okay? So don't think that I'm telling you to pull the trigger on the under because I see something there that most people don't see. No. I see that it's a huge number, 237, and that's potentially why I would roll with the under there. But the Indiana over has hit in 10 of the last 13 games, and 4 of the last 6 for Brooklyn here too. So everything points to the over. We have a huge number. That's where I just kind of fade the consensus pick. So I'm going to lean under in this one before I even look at a side. I don't love the 10-point spread there. All right, we got the Hawks taking on the Bucks. I think it's going to be a very good game. Hawks right now 4-1 on the season, 2-1 against the spread. Bucks are 4-0 against the spread, 4-1 straight up as well. The Bucks are coming off of a nice win there, nice back-to-back win, I guess, to Detroit. The Hawks are coming off a nice little back-to-back win to Detroit. Then Milwaukee coming off a nice win against New York there. So both these teams are kind of firing on all cylinders. I'm gonna go Bucks though. I feel like this is a chalky play. I think that the Hawks could surprise people. Big game trade type of thing is gonna come out, but I think this Bucks team is pretty special, and I know that's not crazy for me to say. They're one of the better teams in the league, but I think that this Bucks team can really grind out any team. I don't think 5 points is a lot to ask for, but I expect this to be a little closer. Like if this was a 7.5-point spread, I'd probably flip over to Atlanta, and that's only a matter of 2 points of a difference there in the margin, right? So I'm gonna lean Milwaukee here at -5. But this might be one that I can just enjoy as a basketball fan. I think this is going to be a very good game. I may look at Trae Young's props and some of his overs because I do think that he loves to step up in big scenarios here. So I am going to lean Bucks here, but I don't totally love it. I also peek at the over. Bulls getting 1.5 points here at home against Philly. Obviously, both teams, a lot of teams today on back-to-backs, as we know. Philly finally came through for us. We had them plus 3.5 yesterday in our video, and they take the win. Now, Joel Embiid is questionable here with a knee injury. I don't know if it's truly a knee injury, if it's because they're back-to-back, but if Joel Embiid's a go, I'm going to look at Philly minus the 1.5. I think if they may be starting to hit some sort of a stride. I hate to say that because I don't really think that, that's accurate just yet, but I do think that, they're going to get better and better. Chicago hasn't outright impressed me this season yet. So we're going to lean Philly here, minus the 1.5 if Joel Embiid is a go. All right, second to last game on the board, we got the Jazz hosting the Grizzlies, and I love this one off the bat. This one's going to be a final play. I do like the Grizzlies in this one, minus 2.5 if. So when I say it is going to be a final play, we got so many guys on the injury report to look at. Danny Green's questionable. Jaren Jackson Jr. looks like he's downgraded to doubtful. Ja Morant is doubtful. Huge piece there, right? And then for Utah, no absolute major injuries, but if we get a Ja Morant on this Grizzlies team tonight, I'm going to be hammering Memphis minus 2.5. Now, that line might be where it is because Ja Morant is doubtful, but keep an eye on that, guys. This has a strong chance to be a final play if Ja Morant is a go. I like this Jazz team. I say it in videos, right? Like, I think that they're better than people think. They think they sold the farm, got rid of Gobert, got rid of Mitchell, and it's like, oh, what do we do now? It's like, no, I think that this Jazz team is still going to have a pretty successful year, but I think this Memphis team's obviously pretty damn good, barring Ja Morant's availability. Last game in the video, Mavericks giving 10 points, laying 10 points to the Rumbling, covering Thunder 10-point dogs on the road, taking that. Obviously I think that we weren't thinking that they would win outright again to LA, which was what a couple nights ago, the 27th. We did lean them 2 times in a row against LA, 5.5 point underdogs, 7-point underdogs, and they end up winning both games in pretty controlling fashion, so that's kind of crazy. But we're gonna go with them again. 10 points is a lot to give this team. They're not on a back-to-back, which is good. Dallas isn't either. They had an overtime game against Brooklyn that they really had to grunge out there. This is one that I do think the Thunder end up losing. Like, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, I keep telling you they're underdogs, but they're gonna win these games like against the Clippers. No. I think Dallas is going to win this game. I'm just hoping that they win the game by 6 and the Thunder can cover this easily. I think that this is the type of game, 218.5 total as well. So a little fishy things going on here. If Dallas gets out to a 15-point lead or anything like that, right? It's like, okay, well, the Thunder, young guys will come in, Dallas starts to rest, and they can backdoor cover this. They can come up pretty easily and keep it to 10 points. I think this Thunder team, as we know the past couple seasons, are the Rumbling covering Thunder. I think 10 points is a lot to get if you're a team that just loves to cover. 4-1 this season against the spread. So I'm going to go Thunder here, plus 10, strong chance to be a final play. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for any ads, any player props we throw in. But guys, always a blast. Make sure you keep an eye on that pinned comment. Hit that subscribe button, like the video as well, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.